Good morning. What is a research method? That is some of the major questions that I always encounter when I'm giving advice to the students. Think of a method as a strategy. It is a game plan for you on how to finish your thesis or paper on time. The method is your roadmap in collecting evidence to answer your research problem. There are four things that you have to remember when you decide on the method that you're going to use in your research. Number one is the orientation of your methodology. Is it going to be quantitative? Is it going to be qualitative? Or is it a combination of qualitative and quantitative research? Remember that for both methods, whether it's qualitative or quantitative, there are certain protocols, certain conditions that you have to observe in order to justify the methodology that you are going to use. Number two important consideration when you decide on your method is whether the method is going to be having a hypothesis or a set of assumptions. When you have a hypothesis, that means to say that there must be certain variables that will be tested in the study, and therefore it needs the statistical treatment. A methodology that requires hypothesis will also require a different computation of the sample size, a justification of the sample size, the selection of the sampling methodology, and so on and so forth in order to justify the hypothesis that you're going to test later. If it's going to be a qualitative research, then you have to consider what are the assumptions that you are going to use in your methodology. Number three is the importance of deciding the data collection strategies. Will it be a survey? Will it be an experiment? Will it be in-depth interviews, focus group discussion, observation? These are the tools that a researcher needs in order to do a very, very scientific investigation of a phenomenon. You have to justify each of the data collection techniques that you will use to ensure that your study meets the standard of scientific investigation. Number four important consideration when you decide on your method is the trajectory of the analysis. How are you going to analyze the data? What kind of units or measurement units that you will eventually collect in order to do the analysis? Is it going to be numerical numbers? If numbers, then it implies that you're going to use statistical tools to properly treat the numbers that you collect from your research. If it's going to be words, phrases, portions of interviews, then be sure that you are using scientific methods in coding, transcribing, categorizing, and eventually developing concepts and themes in your in-depth interviews and focus group discussions, which will produce sentences, will produce words, will produce the images, and will produce field notes. The trajectory of the plan of analysis will be able to answer the research problem that you intend to pursue in your research. That's it for today, folks. I hope may natutunan kayo sa akin ngayon. Good day and